Hey everyone, it's Shannon at Sonoma County Sewing Company. I'm here with my dear friend Vonnie.
Hi, I'm Vonnie Anderson from Software Tailoring.
I'm so excited to be at Software Tailoring today. Vonnie, please tell us what is going on at Software Tailoring.
Well, Software Tailoring is committed to having everybody walk out of here with clothes that fit them or the means to make clothes that fit them. What I do here is to start with a 3D body scanner, which gets a 3D image of your body. And then I've got my friend here, Alice, who has back and shoulder issues that I scanned earlier. And so this is what you end up with. And from that, all kinds of things can happen, including body analysis. But the main thing that I do is to actually make slopers, individualized patterns for people that can then be used to make clothes that fit. I also can ship this off to Ditto Form back east so you can get a custom dress form if you want that.
I want that. So, okay, for those of you who are just learning about this for the first time, we're going to go a little bit step by step because there is so much going on here. It's so exciting. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am. So getting into the body scanning machine, this is an incredible piece of equipment.
I'm going to move over here and move your camera so that you can see. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
And
There
we go.
So actually, I'm going to bring it all the way over so you can see everything.
Oh, I think that further back was probably better.
Okay.
Because now it's just like...
Oh, okay. Okay. So...
Yeah, that looks good.
Okay.
Yeah, so this yields hundreds of measurements in a matter of moments.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yep.
And I'm spinning around because I'm standing inside of the scanner. But if I were actually having a scan, I would be standing very still while the scanning equipment does what it needs to do.
Yeah, there are 14, I don't know if you can't see them, but there are 14 cameras in the scanner.
I can see them. They can see me.
That will take the scan of Shannon and then render that into a 3D image.
Amazing.
In 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds. And it's safe and it's painless. And I've done it. It's really fun.
Yeah.
You do have to strip down to your underpants.
Yeah. Well, and bra.
Yep. Yep.
So what you end up with is a body scan and hundreds of measurements in the 30 seconds that show up here for you.
And those measurements are creating this 3D body image? Or
yeah. Well, they're measured after the 3D body image has been created. There is software that actually measures point to point to point. For landmarks, which you can probably, I don't know if you can see them there, but these tiny little dots on the body are landmarks. And the software is measuring between the points so you can get body measurements from that.
Wow. So again, where should I stand? This is all happening in 30 seconds. As a professional seamstress, if I were measuring all of those body point to point, that would take me probably 30 minutes at the least.
Yeah, depending on the person, it could be more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for tall, skinny people, 30 minutes. For more endowed people, a little more time.
Because you want to be accurate.
You need to be accurate.
So
accuracy is the key for getting well-fitted clothes.
Can you imagine, let's sink that in. What would your life be like if all of your clothes fit you perfectly? Just think about that. So tell me, how are you using this huge list of measurements? You have a lot of measurements here. You have all of this data here. So having a 3D body image on the screen is one way that those measurements are being utilized. How else are you using the measurements?
Well, a little backstory. I'm an engineer, so I don't really believe computers that much. So the first thing I do when I usually have a client is to put stickers on their bodies in the correct place where the bust points are, where the shoulder really is, where the neck is. And then you can't see it on this one because of the way it's brought up, but the landmarks that the computer generates show up, and so do my dots. And so I can check. The first thing I do is to check to make sure that the computer and I agree. And I have the software gives me the ability to, number one, change where the computer thinks the landmarks are, so they are correct. And once the landmarks are correct there, then you can use, I use Armstrong's book to generate the core of the actual slopers that I'm going to build. You can actually just use the measurements and build, do a body analysis of the shoulders and the hips and the waist to see which type of which body type you are. Are you a pear? Are you a rectangle? And that kind of thing is very, very useful in designing what is flattering on your body. And so that's a quick and dirty that just comes out from having the measurements correct. That, I can check out my body analysis to see, am I a rectangle? Am I a pear? Where
I'm
are
a
my
pear.
shoulders? Yeah, you are a pear. I'm an hourglass, or at least I used to be when I was younger. But so that's one another thing that's quickly gotten. But the main thing that I do is use those measurements to build slopers, bodice sloper, princess and regular bodice, torsos, and pants. Women's pants are like my biggest seller because I can actually, the thing you get with this is the true crotch curve.
Oops, sorry.
Of the true crotch curve of the person. So that's what I use when I'm building the pants pattern, is your crotch curve is where I'm starting. So my pants fit perfectly.
Okay, so let's talk about what a sloper is and how it's going to help you make clothes that actually fit.
Okay, the patterns that I make here at Software Tailoring too are these 4 or 5. The typical bodice, I also do a princess bodice. Torso adds the hips to that. You can get sleeves with that. And what that does is to have a fitting 2D pattern to your 3D body. So that, I think this one probably is better even to have this up, where you can take a body, a person, scan them, and then do the fitted digital sloper, paper sloper, and then come out into a paper pattern that then fits her perfectly. So that's the goal, is to have a 2D pattern that fits you perfectly that you can then use for many things.
The orangey yellow top that she's wearing in this picture here is based off of
this,
the bodice master pattern here. So what's happening is this flat pattern was created from the scan and the measurements that happened in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And then this client took that sloper, she took that pattern based off of her body and cut it out in fabric.
Yep,
and
it's a muslin.
Sewed it together to fit her form. And so now that she knows that it fits, what next?
Well, there's several things that you can do with the sloper.
I'm just stack them up here.
Yeah. It allows you to create original designs. This is a wedding dress that I designed from my daughter when she got married, from her sloper. I have one shoulder higher than the other, so I use my sloper to modify commercial patterns to change them so that they actually work for me. And I also can use it to alter ready-to-wear garments. Yeah, this is my younger daughter who was in the wedding, and they had ready-to-wear garments from David's Bridal. And our family is not small-busted. And so I used her sloper to modify her dress to fit.
It sounds like the sloper is the only master pattern that you will need, and that you can use it for all sorts of different sewing projects and sewing patterns.
Yes.
And once you have that master sloper pattern, sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit. You can design with it. You can modify things with it so that take a pair of pants. You like the pants, the pattern, but the crotch doesn't work for you. Well, drop in your crotch from your master pattern and it works for you.
It does work for me. I've used that. I've used the crotch from my master pattern to make pants. And it's magic. Yeah,
it's you. So that's our big go-to here at Software Tailoring. That's what I spend most of my time doing, is making. I should be probably making patterns for clients. The process takes somewhere between 1 and 2 weeks to maybe 3 weeks from scan to finished patterns, depending on how many patterns you want.
We should put it back a little bit.
You can check out my website at softwaretailoring.com to get more information.